So yesterday I started talking about my first foray into open relationships. Well, I'm going to jump around a little bit because, well, it's all in it's a lot of it's going to be in the book. But then I was in a monogamous relationship for a really long time, like maybe a decade. And it started off really rocky because I didn't want to be monogamous. And then I kind of just like I got focused into other aspects of my life that allowed me to, yeah, like I guess in a way I felt like I was not spreading myself as thin. So, long story short, I was in a long-term relationship with somebody that I'm sure if I had like really pushed it, I could have gotten a I could have gotten conversations around non-monogamy started. But I think the tricky part is, and I think this is common for a lot of people because I see this in my office as a therapist a lot, that when you're in relationship with somebody that's never done it, that has no interest in it or thinks it's weird or just thinks, like, I don't know, there's some very traditional conditioning out there, basically, so so to speak. And so if you're in a relationship with somebody that you pick up on this feeling that they're just not going to want to talk about it, chances are you're going to just stick your head in the sand and not talk about it. And this comes up in my office a lot with my clients because it's really scary. And I know from firsthand experience, like, the scariness is because people are so deeply entrenched into our cultural, hetero, what I like to say, toxic monogamy, toxic, like these ideas that they're so deeply entrenched in us and in people that, like, to change the narrative can be really hard, and it's scary. Like, there's a lot of shaming. I think there's a lot of, you get shamed when you do something differently in our culture. You get shamed if you're queer, if you're polyamorous, right? You're weird, you're all of those things. And so when you're in a relationship with somebody, that would literally rock the core of your safety and security by bringing up this topic that you just don't. And if your partner isn't, and if you pick up from your partner at all, even the smallest iota that they're not interested in talking about it, or they think it's weird, or they give you a weird look, or they have a really strong reaction to it, or you can just sense, like, we're intuitive people, and if we can sense that our partner is super uncomfortable with it, we're probably just never going to bring it up. And so I tried in the beginning, and then I just shut down. I just never brought it up again. And it was probably the hardest relationship I've ever been in. It was a relationship where I wasn't able to talk about who I was at my core. I'll talk more about that. So stay tuned.